Brazil's Supreme Court sentenced far-right ex-president Jair Bolsonaro to 27 years in prison, and mass celebrations and street parties like these broke out in the capital, Brasilia, and across much of the country. But his supporters were devastated, and there are still tens of millions of Brazilians who support and even adore him. But Brazil's top court, in a vote of 4-1, did not. It convicted Bolsonaro of all 5 criminal charges that he was facing. One charge was attempted coup d'etat. Back on January 8th, 2023, his supporters stormed the presidential palace, Congress, and the Supreme Court. Another charge was attempted abolition of the country's democracy. Investigators had found a draft coup decree, a plan to arrest the Supreme Court justice leading the trial, along with a plan to use the military to impose de facto martial law. And then there's a third charge, participating in an armed criminal organization, because his attempted coup actually involved military and former military officials. Supporters of President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, the man who would have been deposed in the coup, say this was a landmark victory for democracy. But Bolsonaro's allies are condemning it and have said this has been a witch hunt all along. And that is the same wording to what President Trump and his White House, which has supported Bolsonaro, have been saying. Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, said that Brazil's top court unjustly ruled to imprison Bolsonaro and that the U.S. will respond to this witch hunt. President Trump has called the whole trial political persecution. He's called it a witch hunt too. Here's his reaction to that verdict.
President well, but I know him as the leader of a country, and I always found him to be very straight, very outstanding. Actually, as a man, a very outstanding man. I think it's a terrible thing. Very terrible. I think it's very bad for Brazil.
Back in July, Trump hit Brazil with 50% tariffs on its exports to the U.S. after Bolsonaro asked for help. The White House also sanctioned several Supreme Court justices, but this appears to be helping current President Lula. His approval numbers rose. More Brazilians see Trump's actions as attacks against their country's sovereignty. This case is not quite over, though. Bolsonaro can appeal the court's ruling. Right now, he's under house arrest.